So, Phil, how are you?
I'm really good.
Yeah,
mate.
good
How
to
are
see
you?
you.
How are you?
I'm good. I mean, you got new schnizzle. You've got new things.
Well, not only have we got like one new product, we've got a whole suite of new
That's
products.
insane.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Yeah, so it's our 35th anniversary, is probably the first thing to say, which is great.
Happy anniversary.
Going for 35 years.
You don't look a day over 36.
So the products themselves, I mean, kind of in the general stature, hadn't really changed in the bigger products that we make.
Sure.
So luckily, you know, over the last sort of 30 odd years, we've made lots of headway in development, and very recently, lots of that stuff has started to really come together, and we've now managed to redo all of our large professional monitors.
Wow. Okay, so quickly give us a quick rundown of everything, and then I want to listen.
What you can see here is the PMC 12 XPD, so this is the replacement for the MB3 XPD.
Okay.
But also coming with all of these as well, we have a PMC 10, a PMC 12, which is the ones that are in the rooms, a 15, which is the equivalent to the BB5. Then we have the QB1 that was at Capital. This is now the 10-4.
Wow.
And then we have a whole suite of subwoofers to go with those. You can stack more subwoofers on them if you so want to, if you're crazy enough. And a whole new suite of electronics that have sound align like the rest of our smaller products.
Can we have a listen?
You most certainly can, buddy.
It sounds absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, like, more than happy to talk through like some of the design changes.
Yeah, tell us.
Although you can see that the speakers themselves aren't actually too different in terms of dimensions to their predecessors.
Yeah.
But everything in these speakers is new. So all of the transmission lines have been completely redeveloped. The mid-range itself actually now has a little transmission line that sits on the back of it.
Okay.
All of the woofers have been designed and made in-house now, so we're bringing everything really in-house. Really
Everything's
tight
in-house
tolerances.
now.
Huge X-Max on the new woofers as well.
Wow.
So it's kind of like the sort of the current equivalents. They've kind of leveled further up. So the 12 will perform more like the 15, and the 15 will perform more like the 10-4. So they've all kind of taken a really good level up, which is absolutely amazing.
You're already at a pretty high level, so that's great.
Well, I mean, we just really want to push the boundaries, and you know, if we can keep doing that and
bringing everything in house, that must have been a lot of tooling, a lot of work.
It's definitely a lot, but the thing is you can get so tight on the quality control that you know it just makes life so much easier and so much quicker to react when you need to build stuff.
Yeah, amazing.
Definitely.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, guys.
Good job.
Wonderful.
Well, we'll put links down below, won't we, Eric?
Oh yeah.
There will be. This is amazing. So glad we managed to make it happen.
Yes. Oh, I forgot to even talk about the room.
Oh yeah, I mean this room's insane, isn't it?
So the room was built in the UK. The room was built by the wonderful people at Level West Studio Works.
Okay.
And I kind of had this really crazy idea last year and said, I'd be really good when we do the new products if we actually put it in a studio on the show floor.
Wow.
And then Ollie and Maurice went, oh, that's a great idea. So we made it happen. It had to be that we had to make it 2 days to construct. So the whole thing got built in London, all got packed down into 2 containers and then shipped over to the US, and it was built in 2 days.
When did it arrive? Like the day before?
It arrived on the 7th. So it went before Christmas. My Christmas felt very stressful.
Sure.
And then I was expecting lots of other stuff to go wrong and everything else happened. But it turned up and someone just sent me a really polite quick email to say it's arrived at our facility, and I was like, oh, this is amazing.
Hallelujah. Yeah, that's amazing. Well, congratulations. Room sounds great, and it's a lovely to get away from the hustle and bustle.
100%. Lots of people have said that.
Of NAMM-tastic area outside. Although this has been a really great NAMM. Has it been good for you? I mean, obviously new products.
I mean, definitely so. Everyone just seems really, happy. It's been really well received, and everyone just sticks their head in and has the jaw-dropping look on their face as they look around, which is great.
Yeah, amazing. Well, thank you.
Pleasure,
you rock.
Warren.
Thanks.
Great, buddy.
Chris, how are you?
Warren, wonderful. Great to see you.
Good to see you as ever. I see you're clutching something which has got like a rose gold and black.
Yeah, so
Don't let my wife see that or else I'll be buying it.
This is our LCD 5S.
Yep.
So we took our best-in-class LCD 5 and updated it and made it better. Price is the same, $4,500 a pair, but we've added our new SLAM system. That's what the S stands for in 5S. Okay. So this essentially helps enhance the low end, but it does the same thing that a subwoofer does when you add it to a room of speakers.
Okay.
It enhances the low end, but it also makes it easier for the drivers to do their job in the upper frequencies.
Okay.
So it evens out frequency response, it enhances imaging, all that stuff.
Oh, it's very light.
Yes.
Very nice.
They sound amazing.
Okay. Al, how are you?
Pleasure, sir.
Great to see you. So I bumped into JJ, and I said, JJ, what's the thing you've enjoyed most so far? And he goes, Helios, Helios, Helios. He goes, all the guitars I've ever recorded always sound best through Helios.
He's not wrong.
So here we are.
Here we are, and here we are.
So tell me, this is gorgeous.
Just ask, I'll tell you.
Okay, tell me.
So you know, H2's been doing the 0011 for
Yeah,
about 5 years. We've been selling a lot of these, and we got the H760
Yeah.
Helios compressors.
Yeah.
So then we've been working on this board for about a couple years, and this
Right.
year we finally got into the hardware. So my partner Tim and I over there and just sat down and started designing this thing. So we those are not up yet. Obviously,
Yeah.
this section is to be
Yeah.
coming to be announced soon. Yeah, but
CBA, okay.
we literally finished this thing on Friday
Nice.
last week, and we missed the shipping deadline, so we drove it here from Detroit in a van, rented a van, and drove here from Detroit. So, no, but so what basically you have is you have like a 0011 mic pre EQ, and then we got this routing section that's all based on the Brown Series Helios,
Yeah.
and 8 bus, 2 stereo bus, inline monitoring, 4
Nice.
echo sends.
Yep.
Right, and then your standard stuff down here, phase and solo safe and
Yeah.
the usual stuff on a board. And we held it tight to the original Helios design. So all the amps are all the Brown Series stuff, like the 22130 Summers and the 22113.
Nice.
Driver cards and everything, and their buffers, and then even the transformer. You grab that right there. We recreated those from the original solders that are in all the that were in all those original Helios desks. So
Beautiful.
we put the routing together and added a few features like 2 buses and a monitor, right?
Yep.
And then this routing matrix, which we don't have finished yet, we got to get back to Detroit this week, and we will finish building these cars. We just didn't have time to get those done for this show. We were really running it.
You're
but
trying your best.
yeah, but so what we got going is we just wanted to have that direct sort of signal path, Helios sound, without any kind of too much clouding in the middle with any kind of new modern stuff. So it's kind of what we achieved, added this feature, which adds a lot to it.
Yeah, totally.
So now at like an 8-channel bucket is actually a 16 input console. That's them over there, by the way.
Oh.
It's not us, sorry.
Yeah, I was like the drums got quieter, but the guitar stepped down.
No, that didn't work.
Yeah.
And so we're making this
Beautiful.
board in 8-channel increments, so you can buy it in any stack. The master section stays the way it is.
What are you thinking this is going to retail at?
This 8-channel module,
Yeah.
right here,
Yeah.
obviously with this part in, but these are an auxiliary bay, not in the base
Okay.
cost. 8 channels, which at mixdown is 32 inputs between
Okay.
these 8 here and the 4 stereo echo returns.
Yeah.
59,000.
Okay.
16 channel moves up to 89,000. It just keeps going up in 8-channel increments from there. And you can configure it left, right. There's a patch bay option with it as well that
Wonderful.
clearly we didn't bring.
And of course, you're going to make one in red and make it wrap around.
We already have one sold and on order for red right now, so that's already.
I worked on that console.
I know you did.
Yeah.
I know you did.
Yeah.
That board was in Detroit for a few months.
Was it really?
It was brokered through Vintage King, and it sat in Mike Neera's garage for several months until somebody
know
else
that.
bought it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It sat in Detroit. I never got to mess with it though. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're shipping in about 6 months on these, and you can configure them. There's 5 colors. You can do the pink, the strawberry color,
Yeah.
black, obviously, the blue color that like the Rampart desk was,
Right.
and then the strawberry, obviously. And we're gonna do the the lime green color that we love. That was the original 78 whatever you call that later board.
Amazing.
We'll do that one too. So
Super exciting. Well, congratulations.
thank you.
It's finally coming together. And we still have to do our project where we come out and record on it.
Well, maybe we just send one of these to you and we come to you. Maybe that's the way we do it. I don't know. Whatever you want to do.
We'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that. Send one to us.
We will.
Yeah.
You cover shipping though. So,
Great.
but yeah, so we're just trying to make a classic sounding desk
Great.
with just the right amount of options and not
Yeah.
being too option orientated to where it just becomes this option thing. And every option, in my opinion, degrades the sound a little bit.
Sure.
And we're not doing any surface mount or anything on this board. It's all, through-hole design, and it's all true to what Helios does, So
Amazing.
we've added
Super exciting.
we've added minimal features to it, like this matrix here. This is a good part that I really love. So this section here, when it's populated, the buses, this will source your signal from either any of the 8 buses or 2 patchable inputs, stereo channel, patchable out to this mix bus, insertable, and then direct out, transformer balance out on everything. Outputs on this as well from a patch point, but if you're in the mix mode, you can just do your busing here, assign it to any one of these pairs, whatever you're doing, say drum bus, throw a pair of compressors on that, hit it onto the mix bus, and then you got your parallel compression, so you can have 4 parallels or a couple monos in parallel. So you have a lot of options at Mixdown, like I'm saying.
Great.
8-channel desk, 32 inputs. The 16 channel is 48 in at Mixdown. So
amazing, and it looks gorgeous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, we are happy with it because it's the board that we want to work on. It's the way, like all of us back in Detroit, it's the board that we just want, you know, like we all want a vintage Helios, but we don't want to deal with the price.
Okay,
we don't want to deal with the maintenance.
Maintenance. We're sending it to you all the time.
Exactly, and we want to be able to get people into like that Helios sound at a reasonable price, but also still at a build quality that is like,
the Helios, are they inductor EQs?
Inductors, yeah. Mid and lower inductors, it's LC circuit on the high end.
Right.
And a few other things I just want to point out too.
Yeah, please.
The output of the routing module, you have a trim pod as well that feeds into this.
Yeah.
And you can actually bypass the output transformer here if you want to remove that sound from the mix. So if you got a little if you feel that you have too many transformers on the input side, you can just bypass all the transformers and go straight into this without a transformer into the circuit between the EQ and the pre, which is true to what the original one was.
Right.
Yeah, there was no transformer in the middle, but we make these with the output so you can drive a load if you're putting these in our 8-channel racks. And we wanted to be able to kind of have it so you can be a little more true to the original. And the final production ones, we ship them, will have bypassable transformers on all the mix buses. So the stereo A and B and the Grandmaster will have bypassable output transformers as well. So you can change around, you know, the flavor of the sound quite a bit by doing that. So
this is amazing.
Thank you.
Congratulations on finally doing it.
Thank you. Let me introduce you to my partners, if you don't mind. This is
I remember Barry. Yeah, Barry met you.
And this is the legendary Tim Mead.
The legendary Tim.
It all falls on him. So.
You're to blame.
He is. So. This is Lou, our operations director. Yeah. So.
Excellent.
And we're glad you came by, and we're excited about this.
This is great. Well, thank you for showing us.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you. No, it's been an amazing NAMM show. Yeah. It's been really, really good.
What would you say is different about this NAMM show than the last NAMM show?
It's weird. With all the AI talk that we had last year, everybody's like, so freaking out. I think now that it's so much more out there, we've all got to handle what it really means, so there's a little less fear.
It's good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, are you finding less fear? Are you finding more adoption of it? So people are like actually using it and kind of get it now? Like,
yeah, I think there's a bit of that. I've talked to those companies. I had a good long talk with Suno a while back and everything, and they've got that DAW, and you can play a funk guitar part and turn it into an orchestra. You can orchestrate what you do. Yeah. And then, of course, like Ableton, Fender, which is now PreSonus, that I'm calling Fender Pro, that everybody's adopting that kind of technology. And I don't have a problem with that. I mean, if somebody plays an instrument and they can use it as a creative way of, accessing things that they wouldn't have been able to do. I mean, isn't that really what all of this has always been?
That's what's up for debate.
Yeah.
A lot of different opinions on it, that's for sure.
I mean, all I care about is the results, number one, and then secondly, the fact that human beings playing music would never be replaced. So that's the great thing.
It's kind of interesting because it's kind of similar to when, remember the first electronic drum machines came out?
Yeah.
And they're like, that's not a real drum. So maybe it's not a real human hitting the drum. Was it, I mean, I feel like I've heard that fight was maybe not quite the same, but similar.
Yeah, I think we're similar age. I'm just a few years older than you, so I do remember that as a kid. I have heard that comparison, and I don't dispute it, but I feel like the fear was that people were going to prefer the sound of drum machines. Because if you think about it, it was like the pop music and the rock music of that day was going very like Lin drum, dum-ka, and it wasn't sort of like, it wasn't like, oh, people were afraid that drummers were going to be out of business because that was old-fashioned. I think now history has taught us that that's irrelevant. You know, because if you want to do a song and you want to do it with an 808, there's a million drum samples of 808s out there. If you want to do a Lin drum, boom-ka, dum drum, you can do that too. You know, but if you want a beautifully performed, drummer with one mic in a room with something special and unique, you have to get the drummer and go in the room with the one mic. You see what I'm saying? I think that there's so many ways to interpret it. There's so much individuality. And
But there was a fear. There was a fear, though, up front, right? So it's sort of like until we fully understand it, there's kind of that fear.
Yeah.
What could this become?
Yeah,
what could this replace? What could this change? I don't like change, you know?
Yeah. I think the thing, I just did a big panel, which was a lot of fun, and all of us were saying the same thing, that we just got to get back to making music that has something to say. Because we're having so much discussion about everything except for like writing a song that might actually change people's lives. Music to me changed my life.
Yeah.
It really did. There was just certain music that just got me through times in my life as a kid. Yeah. And inspired me to be sitting here on stage with you.
Yeah, it takes you to another world. So I got to ask you, Warren, I think people love hearing what you're doing with music. So I know you're a very busy person. You're creating videos about history, about techniques, about all this stuff. Any neat studios or projects or anything in the last year that maybe you've kind of been keeping under wraps, or maybe you're broadcasting it already on your channel and I haven't heard about any cool stories this year?
I'm still working. I mean, it's funny you said it, because one of the things I understand that we have all these different platforms. When I started doing the YouTube channel, we had this intern Connor who became our assistant, became a paid employee, and he would come at 9 a.m. in the morning. Between 9 and 11, I'd make a video, and he would edit it and put it up the next day, and that's how we launched the channel. And then from 11 to 11 o'clock at night, 5, 6, sometimes 7 days a week, I was making albums. I used to say to people, they say, what are you working on? I tell them what I was working on, and they're like, you're lying. Because they were so used to this idea that you'd make a record or do an EP. And I'm like, well, I shot my video at 11 a.m. I recorded the mix from the day before with the mix notes that were sent to me. Then I did some guitar overdubs on this different production I was working with. Then a singer came in early evening and we sang, and then I started mixing that track. And then the next day it went over and over and over again. And that's the way that things will have to be now.
And I think with you being online and an online face that everybody knows about, they assume that maybe when you got into that online world, that you had to hang up your hat and not be so actively involved in making albums. Right? They know you're still in it a little bit, but maybe not the same. And so, every time I talk to you, I know you're busy doing it. So I just love that you're telling us about it.
Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, we just the day we left on a morning, Wednesday morning. We flew out Wednesday morning from London. We were in London, and I finished mixing an album Tuesday evening.
Wow.
So and it was just over a week. I spent a week and a half, and and I don't ever want to not be that. You know, I think we calculated I've got 7.4 billion streams. You know, stuff I worked on.
Congratulations.
2,977 credits, professional credits, and I don't want that to stop. And at the moment, because a lot of the stuff I've worked on over the years is still huge. You know, all the phrase stuff is still absolutely massive. They still, stream like crazy. And then independent artists. We have this independent artist I produced 3 albums for and 2 EPs called Trevor Hall, Hall, and we have songs as an indie artist that just went 100 million plays on an independent artist.
Beautiful. It's awesome. Love to hear it.
Yeah, and I just want to, want people to know that you can actually make a living, but you do have to multitask. The amount of people that are specializing in one genre, you can count on one hand these days. It's very, very, I've always been a jobbing producer, and I'm proud of it, joint producer meaning, you know, I did a Black Veil Brides live album. Eric and I drove down to the Wilton Theatre and took a feed from the monitor console into a laptop, and then front of house into a laptop, went back, mixed it. They filmed the whole concert. It came out as a Blu-ray and a DVD. Did well. It's the #1 selling music Blu-ray DVD of that 2 years ago, whatever it was. And that is still happening. I still want to be working. I feel like I'm going to be completely irrelevant if I start telling people how I do things when really I'm not doing them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny. So this last year, I've realized, man, I haven't touched a soldering iron in a little while. Right? I used to always be replacing components and getting my hands dirty, and so I purchased a 1969 Ampex MM1000 tape machine.
Great tape machine. Yeah, I had one. Yeah.
16 track. I've been pulling every channel out, replacing all the incandescent bulbs with LEDs, recapping everything, and I don't have a lot of time to work on it, but I'm making sure I have a little bit of time. And now I just want to build a tape machine. I think they're so cool. They're so much fun. A lot of work, a lot of parts in there that can go wrong, but it's been good for my health, you could say, right? Getting back to what I love.
Yeah, it's a tough one because, you know, we all know all the guys, predominantly guys that have YouTube channels and have businesses, and they don't actually make music, or they do, but that isn't really where they make their money. That's fine and that's great, but if I ever personally felt I was that guy, I would want to do something different. Because music as a business came when I woke up one day and was like, oh my God, I'm actually able to pay my rent for what I do. You know what I mean? I didn't go into this as being a business idea. Does that make sense? It developed, you know. That old adage, I did what I love and I made money as a consequence. And I know that's difficult now in the day and age we're in. But I still think it's possible. I still think, because you need love and passion if you're going to show up 18 hours a day to do this stuff.
How much of your time are you in the UK versus the LA working on music?
Well, we just put together a studio in in London, so we have one now in London as well. The album I mixed, I did entirely on headphones. Wow. So I haven't even put speakers up yet. Yeah.
So have you listened to it on speakers yet, or are you trying not to?
No, I haven't. I've only listened to it on Audeze.
Are you nervous?
No.
So sometimes when I listen on headphones, what I notice is because I'm not getting that crossover between each ear hearing the other speaker, sometimes the levels are a little bit louder than I want it to be or whatever. But you send it straight to mastering without hearing it on speakers.
Yeah. But I did listen to it on 3 different sets of headphones.
Okay.
I mixed on LCD-X's, 7506s, the cheap $85 Sonys, and of course, you know, I have a set of VSXs because Stephen modeled our room. So I can actually listen to it in my room on a pair of Channel X.
Beautiful.
On headphones and sit. So I'm actually, and it does. Stephen spent 18 months making it sound exactly like the room. So I'm probably a little bit blessed, because I don't think many people here that work on headphones have had Stephen Slate spend 18 months modeling their room. So I'm a little spoiled. So I didn't need to use speakers because I had that.
Great.
So, yeah.
Love it. Yeah. Well, what else is there to talk about?
A lot. This. So I've seen this, but I don't have it. I'm sure Hillary's going to send us some. Where is she?
This is a live dynamic microphone.
Yeah.
Designed to look retro. It's got a modern, front of house sound, so it's not going to have harsh highs or high feedback. It's going to be a very modern sounding, what you typically expect, but it has a vibe, has a look, has a.
It's great. I love
it. We've got a matte black version here as well. So if you don't want the shiny bling.
I like both, to be honest. I do like this. I mean, it's very, it's very sad. To me, it's very Americana, very 50s sci-fi, Robbie the Robot, and these are all things I like. That period of time where they would just put ization on everything.
Yeah.
They'd be like, this is the refrigerization, and that's the, And you remember when all the cars had fins because of the space age?
I love it too, yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Yeah, like Jetsons.
Yeah, Jetsons. Yeah. Jetsons, Robbie the Robot, Forbidden Planet. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, did you check out this guy? This came out very recently as well, so a stereo C24.
Not the stereo one, but I do want that, yeah.
Yep. So it's got AMI tab function work transformers made in the USA.
Nice.
It's full 180-degree rotation.
Nice.
Pretty cool. We've got one over there you can check out. Yeah, and actually there's an interesting story, and it's been verified, so this is not a rumor, but Stevie Wonder's, either his technician or assistant, was told to go gather stereo microphones for him to listen to.
Okay, good.
And that was, 2 of those were picked up at a Guitar Center location of all places.
I believe that. I was in Guitar Center when he came in and bought a keyboard once.
And he took them home, and they did not tell him the brand name or anything. He listened to them, and he bought 2 of ours.
Yeah. I believe it.
And this just happened last month, so I was like, okay. So that's why we put it up here.
I believe it. I mean, years before you guys were making microphones, we did a shootout with 12 different microphones before we had you, and the most popular one in everybody's blind test was not the most expensive. I think we all know that's it's like mastering. You know, there's master engineers that charge $4.50 an hour, and then there's guys that charge $100 an hour. You know, and it really just comes down to, you know, the $4.50 guy may consistently do great work, but the $100 guy might as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a lot of things at work that have got that have not to do with the price point.
So I know that you analyze new gear, and I'm not even trying to plug our gear. So I'm curious, this year, out of this whole last year of tracking, mixing, whatever, what's a cool piece of gear that you've gotten to plug into that maybe you hadn't yet before, or it had been many years, and you're like, oh, I forgot how much I love this?
2 things. The Eventide Omnipressor, it's been out a little bit of time, but I worked in a studio in Indiana that was owned by John Mellencamp, in John Mellencamp's band. Yeah, so he's the guitar player for John Mellencamp, and he had this studio called Echo Pass Studios in Bloomington, and they had an Eventide Omnipressor. This was like 25 years ago, even before I met my wife. And I remember just being like, what does this do? Because it kind of expands and compresses, and you put it on mono mics on a piano, suddenly twang, you can just make notes jump out of nowhere. And it can be even a randomizer that you blend in. Anyway, they had a plugin of it. I reviewed it 3 or 4 years ago. They put out a hardware version of it, the original one. They reissued it, and I have a special affinity to Eventide because they were digital pioneers in the US. Jack Douglas used to tell me that because he was in New York, obviously making records with, you know, Aerosmith and John Lennon and stuff, that they would come in with a brand new piece of equipment that they just designed, and it would make its way onto a record. So it's not a new piece of equipment, it's not revolutionary as such, but just to have that hardware again, I've got that in the rack, and I love that. Awesome. But here at the show, I'm really glad about SSL doing the Origin with all the dynamics, because that will
tell me about that.
Finally, everybody's going, you keep bringing out new stuff, why haven't you brought out a 4000? Well, now for about 50 grand, you can have a 4000.
Beautiful. Yeah, they're always working on something.
Yeah.
That's a company. They've really been, constantly doing things.
Yeah, I mean, look, you and I have the same philosophy. We're trying to bring people into our industry. We're trying to get rid of, I hate the wagging finger, you kids don't know what you're doing, and I stay away from that. And I do like, what I like about SSL is they have a legacy, and they are making inexpensive products as well. Good. They're making things that bring people in, and that's what you guys do as well. Yeah, you make stuff that's affordable, and you help people make music, and that's to be applauded.
Absolutely. Hey, appreciate it. Warren, thank you so much for dropping by. Wonderful to see you again.
This is totally impromptu. I didn't know we were going to do this. So thank you, everybody. I'm here at Monheim with Martins. How are you?
Good.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
And there's Andrew over there. So what do you have to tell us? What are you going to show us?
I'm very excited with Monheim microphones.
Good.
And why? Because he is releasing the bottle microphone, and it's not that Monheim looked somewhere and found about bottle. He was involved with Blue microphones. He worked for how many years at Blue?
4.
At least 4 years. Yeah, so he is very familiar with the microphone designs, and he knows microphones and what's inside the nice body. I founded Blue Microphones in 1995, and at that time we were involved mostly in rebuilding, also making accessories, but not making real original mics. So at the first show we had rebuilt by us RFT bottle microphone, and Walter Sear, late Walter Sear, the owner of Sear Sound Studios in New York, came by at that show 95 in New York and listened and said, give me to try. And he took the microphone. After a week he bought it, and after a month he called, I need another one. And I told Walter, I'm sorry, I can't get you another one. He thought, but can't you build a one? And that really gave, how you say, a spark or something. And I talked with my partner, Skipper Wise, about this idea. And we really built a new bottle microphone which had the same physical side, but we put inside original our circuitry. And there was one negative aspect about building it really the same. It was actually too big, that the head, yeah.
This is an old service capsule that I found in my shop from his era, and late.
So this
90s.
is from the late 90s?
Yeah.
So this is the custom tuning that they were putting a good amount of work into establishing their own version of the capsule.
Okay.
With different tuning variations and not just template style.
And adding a capsule, we were not, also we started like having a copy, but it's not exactly copy except for the size. And the size is not good, it's too big. And that also why I was excited when Andrew said I'm releasing a bottle, and I was thinking, oh, again the same big, because sometimes it's a problem. No, he said, I'm shrinking it. And so we have here the new version, yes, but it's have the original blue circuit inside. Yes, the PCB board is redone, but the schematics is the same as it was in the old bottle. That's what's inside. And then I was started interested in speakers, and I found a great designer of speaker in Latvia, and I was also interested to develop those speakers further. And as I'm more a microphone guy and I evaluate the speakers simply like listening, I would like to introduce Paul Davis, who really works with speakers.
So these are great speakers. I got introduced them also by trying to search my first pair as a mix engineer, and I stumbled upon them. And the first thing that really struck me was the phase coherency, the impulse response, and I really love the horn sound. Horn is fun.
I'm trying to figure that out. So I see 4 drivers here.
Yes.
And a horn in the middle.
Exactly.
So they're kind of a dual concentric idea, meaning everything coming from the same place.
So it combines, the crossover is around 1 kilohertz, so this is 35 centimeters.
Yeah.
So the waves are already like combining here, and then it works almost like a 10-inch woofer with like a centered tweeter in the middle.
What are these, like 3 inches across?
No, 5.
Oh, 5, I can't see.
Yeah, they're like angled, so the whole thing works as one thing, around this.
1 point serves.
Yeah.
So 4 5s, a horn in the middle.
Exactly, and now we also offer a bass extension system.
Right.
So for people who want to go really low, this goes down to 16 hertz. Also the phase coherence, so the tightness and the speed of them.
Can I crank them a bit?
Hell yeah.
We can turn them up. What makes it unique about the phase coherency?
So the thing what we do is the whole speaker system is 4.5 milliseconds of delay.
Okay.
So we're not using fancy DSP to push everything in time.
Yeah.
So you can use these for tracking too, because on some brands you have switch from going to like perfect phase coherency with good impulse response to like lower latency. These ones are just as they are, good to go. They're very exciting. Like you can hear that sound is all the time like excited. Yeah. It feels very like.
Well, listen to very vocal-centric things. I know in these kinds of demos they always like to use EDM because it's like impressive.
But it's because of the noise.
I need to hear the vocals sing.
I know.
To me, the vocal has to be like a ball, like it's this big, and I can pick it up.
I completely agree. And with these ones, the cool thing is the vocal is very close.
Yeah.
It's very in front, and the depth gets deeper. Because here you kind of can't get it because of the noise, but all the intricacies in the mid-range, it really has this depth.
Yeah.
And then I was recording most of the time vocals when I started out, and you can hear the capsule of the plosives and stuff moving the whole room in a like you hear the capsule.
So the question is, how much are they on their own, and how much with the addition of the sub?
Right now, during NAMM 5 for the pair, afterwards 6. 650, yeah, with the tax and this together 10.
Okay.
Pair.
For the pair. Okay.
Pair, of course.
Dollars.
Yeah.
Dollars. Okay. Fantastic. And wait, we haven't talked. They're powered. Are they powered?
They're active. Inside the amp also has 9-band EQ. So if you put in your room, you need to get a tiny bit, tame some like room modes. You can do that. So 9 in that, 9 in that. So in the low end, you can do even
9-band fixed or 9-band sweepable.
Sweepable, completely parametric shelf, whatever you need.
Okay, great.
Yep.
And boost as well as cut?
Yes.
Okay.
Of course.
I have to ask because obviously the GML series is cut only.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you need to be careful putting too much power in them because you lose some headroom, but still you can do whatever you want.
If you're doing 9B at 40 hertz, you've got something wrong
good
with
luck,
your
yeah. Well, you can do it with these ones.
Right.
Because they have a crazy amount of power.
What do these go down to without the sub?
Without the sub, they go down to like 43, 42. Like at 0, then they shelf off like a minus 6, I think, is like 38.
Okay.
So it's like a another cool thing. So they're ported right now. The base, you can untie it, turn it, and it becomes a sealed box.
So it's ported underneath?
Yeah, it's ported underneath, and you can turn around the base and seal the ports, and then it becomes a sealed box, because a lot of people love even more of the tightness of the sealed box.
Right.
So you can do that also.
I know, there's a whole huge thing online with people, okay, fighting about whether it's ported or not.
It depends. Like some rooms take very well sealed box. Some rooms prefer to have them open. It's person, room, air, continent, whatever. Even genre, like it influences people's choices on what they like.
Okay, great. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Really appreciate it. Great meeting you. Thank you very much. All right, we're here at Tegeler with Mika Krush. It's amazing to see you.
Nice to see you again. Yeah.
You're like, you're old school for us. When did we do that? The cream video. 10 years ago? 9 years ago?
Nah, I think 2018. I was in your studio.
8 years ago.
Yeah.
8 years ago. There you go. Nearly done. Yeah, 8 years ago. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we sold you a lot of those things because they sounded bleeding amazing. Yeah. Really, really good.
Pleasure.
So, but since then you've done lots of things, as you can tell.
Yeah.
You've added like motorized controls.
Yes.
With, of course, the plug-in. Really making hardware make sense in the digital world. So,
That's the purpose.
What have you got that's new? Anything you want to talk about?
We are in the process of doing this remote control to all of our hardware.
Great.
So we will, in a few months, we'll release something new.
Right.
I will not tell yet what it is.
Okay.
And I think the latest one was, and also a little bit unusual for us, it was to build a reverb.
I know, it's fantastic, isn't it?
It's also remote controllable by a plug-in.
Great.
And the goal was to have something that sounds really like a room, not like an effect, but like a real room. It's also combined with tubes and transformers on the input and on the output.
How are you creating the reverb?
It's of course a processor. It's digitally done. It's AD converted, and the processor calculates everything, and then it's back to analog, back to the tube sound. And and we also wanted to make it really easy to set up. So there are only three knobs to control it. You have your your room size, your decay, and your density.
Yeah.
And that's practically it. Of course, you have a pre-delay and input and mix, but these three knobs, they make the sound.
Okay.
They control a lot of parameters at the same time, but it's really easy to just say, okay, I want this. You don't have to go through a lot of parameters, just change it and it's done.
And that's completely controllable from a separate plugin?
Yes. So
okay, great.
We ship it with some presets, but actually you don't really need presets with that free control.
It's all tactile, and you can dial it in. That's great. Yeah. Really, really cool. Great seeing you here in NAMM.
Yeah.
This is fantastic. So you've partnered all up now, and you're being distributed over here.
I think the newest change is not in the sound, but at some point we have a new logo.
Oh yeah.
And also freshened up the
old school and new.
Yes, the labeling a little bit, having a new color.
Yeah.
But the sound is the same. So if you have a blue or green one, it doesn't change the sound.
Are you still based in Tegeler?
Yes.
Here's the the remote controlled version of the crane.
Yeah, and the crane is really our best-selling product.
And so it should be.
Yes. And yesterday someone came and I was really touched by it. Said, "Oh, you built some modern old-time classic," and I thought, "Oh wow!" When people say that.
No, I think it's fantastic. This was quite a revelation when you sent it. We just did that blind shootout where I just took mixes and used my Pultex with my SSL 4000 bus compressor, and then just did a A/B between the two. And I remember I didn't have an opinion on it, but you could see my face and you can hear the results. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah. So I'm here with Chris Newitt at Peluso. Now, I can't remember when I made that Aerosmith record 15 years ago.
It probably was. It probably was.
Yeah, 14 years. It was a long time ago now. And we got so many of your mics and we used them all over it.
I want to say you guys had a pair of 67s on drum overheads, perhaps, and then I think you had the 2247 LE, if I remember right. If I remember right, with Jack.
And we loved them. Absolutely loved them. Yeah. And I remember I was talking to Barry Rudolph at the time, and he said that he'd done a blind shootout, and everybody had chosen your 47 over everybody else's, a real one and the clones. So I've always spoken very, very highly of your stuff, and absolutely loved it. So it's great to actually be here.
So glad to have you here, especially like with our 47s. You know, one of the things that makes a 47 is the steel tube.
Okay.
And having a real steel tube in there is really the thing that makes it a 47. And you know, the VF14s are almost impossible to find anymore. And so what we base ours on is the EF12. And the EF12 was made in the same factory at the same time as the VF14s, but it's a slightly different pin out and a slightly different tube, but the acoustic specs are the same. And there's a second harmonic content that you get from that steel tube, which is just completely 47.
Wow. So. How do you source those? Very hard.
They are very hard to source. We one of our Japanese distributors was actually able to find in the back of a radio station. He found a stack of boxes of new old stock air-conditioned kept, and so we kind of ran into a beautiful collection of those at once. And it was a good find. It was a good find.
Show us
this guy right here.
There we go.
If you want, we could even pop the guy open if you want to see inside.
Yeah,
show
please.
That tube we're talking about.
$3,000.
So,
wow.
Hand soldered circuit boards, through hole circuit board, and then this is that tube I was telling you about.
Yeah.
And it's you can see in there. That's that Telefunken EF12 tube.
Wow. Beautiful.
And we also run the SE version.
Yeah.
At the same time that the Germans were making this tube, RCA was making the 6SJ7 tube. Yeah. Which is it's a little bit taller of a tube, but it's also another steel jacketed tube.
Okay.
And it's that steel jacketed vacuum tube that has its own character.
How would you describe the differences?
It's more of a textural thing, a second harmonic content, and that just adds a level to the sound that's, you know, when glass tubes came out, they started making the 67, and it was quieter, it had a lower noise floor, and it was a little cleaner sounding. And so at the time, everybody thought, this is the new thing, this is fantastic. And that's a game we've been playing in audio forever, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, oh, this is newer, it's quieter, it's better. And then people kind of turn back and say, well, actually I kind of like the character of the tube. I like the character of the the older stuff.
And what
So
do
this
these retail at? Similar kind of price?
This one's about $700 cheaper than this one.
Oh wow!
Because it is, we use a Russian source tube of that style,
Yeah.
and I'm able to get that tube a lot cheaper. Everything else, top to bottom, is exactly the same.
Oh wow! So
the heater voltage is a little bit different. So
Okay.
so it's a different heater voltage.
And then the capsule. Tell me about the capsule.
The capsule is a K47 capsule.
Yeah, yeah.
That we're producing, center terminated. Made just to the spec of the originals.
The prices are so good. I know how good these mics are. So the fact you can do them at this price and build them here, in the US.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one's kind of fun. This guy's a little different than anything else we're doing. This one is not really a tribute microphone. This is our 280. It's a very modern microphone. You know, if it was like anybody, Sony C800G, but we're not trying to be a Sony C800G on this one.
Okay.
Where this one's trying to be a 47. This is our own unique creature. It's got a different tube in it. It doesn't run a super hot tube like that G does.
Right.
It's a very fast transients, very clean, very quiet circuit. It runs a Cascode style circuit that has a FET and a tube that run in parallel.
Great.
So you get the quiet of the FET with that sweet warmth of the tube.
Amazing.
Big extension, high and low. It's got a little bit of a bump at about 10K.
Okay,
that's
nice.
That's mellow, about 3.5 dB.
Okay.
And so this is
opens up the
a
top
little
end.
more
Nice.
unique. You know, it's a little more of a
Love to hear one of these. I'm gonna get
very
Mike
modern.
to
Yeah, we'll
figure it out.
when we're done shooting, we can put the headphones on. We'll run through them with you if you like.
Amazing.
The other newest thing we've done is our 24. And so basically, this is a 1958 AKG C24.
C24.
Yep.
Nice.
We have the upper capsule, go full 180 degrees rotation.
Yeah.
So you can do your common mid-side, plumb line, X, Y. These kind of show what the different polar patterns would look like if you were to kind of expand from the traditional.
Yep.
There's a power supply that runs this.
Beautiful.
Each capsule is independent.
Yep.
Has its own independent output and its own independent control for the pattern selector.
Right.
The microphone itself has 2 independent capsules.
Yeah.
2 independent circuit boards.
Yep.
They both run through one 6072 tube. It's a dual. It's a dual triode tube. So there's 2 sides to the tube. So both circuits go through one tube, and then they go back out through 2 independent output transformers, 2 pairs of twisted signal cable back to the.
Is that
power
how it
supply.
originally was on the original C24?
Yes.
That one tube?
Yes.
Oh wow. Didn't
Yes.
know that. Learned something new. What's this retailing at?
MSRP is $4,000. It streets for $3,400.
That's pretty amazing.
3,400
for tube
Some
stereo.
fun things you can do.
C24. That's
to
amazing.
put that forward.
Yeah.
If you had a vocalist who maybe would go from whispers to screams,
Yeah.
you could take one capsule and pad it down 10 dB, and you'd have a little safety track, so that if you started to peak
Thought of
out,
that. That's nice.
you know, or
Yeah.
you could go 180. We could put them both in cardioid, and we could do a duet.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fun that you can do that way.
That's amazing.
And we were talking about drum overheads earlier.
Yeah.
It would be a great mic for a drum overhead as well.
Great. This is incredible. Well, I'm going to talk to Mike, and we're going to see about getting some mics to do
Wonderful.
some shoe outs and do some demos with. This is incredible.
Let's do that.
Thank you
Great
ever
to
so
meet you.
much.
Thanks for coming by.
Thank you. So we're back.
Yes.
At BAE. My very, very good friend Colin. How are you?
How are you, Warren? How's it going?
I'm good. You, geez, I think I've made more records with BAE gear than any other
I
company.
can say the same thing.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's been guitars, drums, vocals, 1028, been our vocal pre for
Tuba. I've used
Peruvian sphincter flute.
Oh,
This is the Peruvian.
of course.
You have to eat a lot of beans. before
I
you can
once had to
play it.
inquire how to record the sphincter flute.
The Peruvian sphincter flute. It's very, very specific. All right, well, yeah, it's great to be back here and see what you're doing.
It's great to see you.
I just saw somebody who said, "Oh, I just put in the studio together," and I went and bought. You would have seen him yesterday, probably 16 or 8.
Good for that person. Cha-ching.
Yeah. He
I
loves
have
you.
an announcement.
What's your announcement?
We have nothing new. Because we don't need to make anything new.
I love your announcement. The best announcement ever. Well, yeah. I mean, the 1028 on vocals has been a favourite for decades for me. At least 15 years, I think, since we heard from you. 1073s. I mean, still. I don't like the word clone because people use the word clone when they.
Well,
mean,
no, I call
when
it
looks like it.
I call it an actual unit because, as you know the heritage.
Yeah.
The parts are swappable with the originals. We use all the same materials. There's nothing. We don't skimp in any area.
You have the Bioris, don't you? I don't think they were in the original. I think you actually have better pots, don't you?
Well, a funny thing. I'll tell a quick story about Rupert Neve. When back in the old days when we were in Hall A, and I would put the two channels out. I'd put the vintage Neve and us, so people could see they're identical. And one day Rupert Neve walked up, and he looked, he shook his head, and he said, "I never thought anybody would do this." Right. And I said, "Well, you should have gotten a patent." And he said,
"Well, understandable. He
said, we made such limited runs. We made 1073s for 2 years. We made, then we went on to other things." He said, "But these are exquisite." And then in front of some young lad, he said, "But these probably sound better." And I don't know who the person was. I do have a witness. And the young person said, "What do you mean they would sound better?" And he said, "Well, listen, we made it. We had no budgets. We used." The parts we used weren't the best, and this and that. And he said, "But look at how they've made these." And he pointed and he said, "And you're using the polystyrenes. They're brand new, and no one uses that. And you got the right transistors." And he was really thoroughly impressed. And it was just wonderful to kind of have his seal of approval.
It was great. Well, there isn't a person alive who doesn't. I mean, I know with my old engineer has been a Sweetwater sales manager for 20 plus years since he left.
Do I know this person?
Yeah, Michael Rango.
Oh, I didn't know Mike worked for you. I love Mike.
Oh my God! You can come in on camera. Mark Needham.
There's Mark Needham, everybody.
Hey, how are you?
Good. I heard that voice.
Yeah, you know that voice. Hey, Mark, how are you?